Nvidia breaking down the downside. This is the end of the Nvidia. 3.8% to the downside. Nothing goes up forever, nothing goes down forever. A pullback is imminent. Hey there, Tamir from FIBONACCI.com here. Daily market recap. Like, subscribe, and let's see the charts. On my last stock market weekly recap, we've been talking about this doji and how we need to be careful for a pullback, because a doji almost always identifies a trend reversal. In this case, we got our trend reversal. This is the candle that broke the 524 area. The 524 was the resistance, was the support since middle of May, and now bears came in, broke it to the downside. This gap got filled. Now the next support is the 518 area, below it 513.47, closing this gap at the 513. This is how it looks on the 65 minutes. Opened the day with a gap to the downside, moved sideways above the 524, and then in the last hour of the day, bears came in strong, pushed market down, and now the 521 is the support, below it 518 to the downside. QQQ 1.07 to the downside. 450 now is the support, below it we have 442 to the downside. We got ourselves bearish sentiment 3 out of 4 time frames from the FTI. Doesn't mean we need to start go short on the Qs. It just means that there is no long now, and bears are now starting to take control after 2 weeks of sideways move. Sell signal on the QQQ below the 450, 442. It just means we need to take care of our long positions, maybe take some profit home, and of course we use stop losses. We need to tighten our stop losses. Dow Jones continues to break to the downside, went below this gap. We talked about this gap that needs to get filled. We are now below this gap. We have now a gap to the 2 gaps to the upside on the Dow Jones. We've got ourselves a doji of this trend line. A doji, same as we said on the SPY, doji might signal a trend reversal. Dow Jones now, can it hold this trend line with this doji? And then back retesting the 385 as resistance, below it 375, and then 369 to the downside. IWM with relative strength to the upside, almost 1%, but look at the upper border of the yellow zone. The upper border of the yellow zone from support, now resistance. The 204 is the resistance, the 201 is the support, below it 200 and a touch at the 191. Let's see, can the IWM close the week above the 204? Bitcoin, for the time that I'm recording this video, nothing much. Price section of Bitcoin is getting tighter and tighter, with the 66,550 as support, below it 64,700 and 62,900 to the downside. Above the 68,950, Bitcoin will go and retest the blue trend line once again as resistance. Look left, trade right. If you look left, this blue trend line started over at the peak of March, rejected price over here at the peak of April, rejected price over here at the peak of May. Now let's see how Bitcoin is going, where Bitcoin is taking us. For now, Bitcoin just moving sideways. Ethereum, same thing, sideways move. The 3730 is the support, below it 3530, below 3530. In my opinion, we are heading back to the 3260 and 3000. Let's see. For now, sideways move all across crypto land. MAGS, the Magnificent 7 ETF, look at this candle, 1.7% to the downside. Now the 41 is the support, below it we are heading back to the 40. Nothing much on Magnificent 7. for now, still holding the weekly uptrend. This is why we got ourselves bullish on the weekly, but daily bearish, 4 hours bearish, still holding above this green trend line, below it 41 and 40 to the downside. It doesn't mean we need to go short on Magnificent 7. It just means that if you're not long yet, this is not the time to go long. And if you're long, just tighten up your stop loss. Of course, everything that you hear and see on my videos, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always, always, always do your own due diligence. Next, we have the SOXX, the semiconductors ETF, with 3 out of 4 time frames bearish. Once again, this is not the signal to go short. It just signals that we need to be prepared for the downside, because bulls are nowhere now with the 233 is holding together with the lower border of this red channel. You know this red channel? We drew it a few days back, maybe a few weeks back, and we said as long as SOXX is inside this option channel, we're good to go long. But for now, this is not the time to go long if you're not long yet. We need to sit and wait, and let's see where price is taking us. This is why we got this small table, the FTI multi-time frames, that helps us to make smarter, better decisions. Breaking below this area, below the 233, SOXX will go back, retesting the upper border of the yellow zone, the 226 area, as the next support. TAN, we talked about this sector, we talked about this solar ETF. We said this is the hottest sector for now, and here we are, another 3% to the upside. Now with the 47 as the support, it was resistance, now it's the support. Next on the list is closing the gap at the 51.71 and a touch at the 52 area, above it 55.50. This is the hottest sector in my opinion for now. Like, subscribe, don't go anywhere. We have many more stocks to talk about. Apple continues another day, another inside candle, another doji indecision for the market on Apple. Apple is holding inside this red channel, breaking below. We will see 186.70 and then 182 to the downside. Bearish on the daily. Once again, it's not the signal to go short. It just means that the FTI is helping us to make better decisions. It tells us that if you are not long yet on Apple, this is not the time to go long. It helps us identify a very, very tough resistance area, the 193. So the FTI helps us to stay calm, no FOMO. Microsoft with 3.4% to the downside, breaking below the yellow zone. Inside it, next support is the 410. Look left, trade right. Last time it happened to Microsoft after several days of sideways move. It happened here, middle of April. Sideways move. 2% to the downside. Broke inside the yellow zone, and then it took Microsoft all the way back to the 398 and the 387. Will it happen once again here? No one knows. The only thing we know is to look right, look left, where price came from, learn from the price actions history, use Fibonacci and the FTI to show us the way for the next support. 410.60, below it, this gap at the 400, most likely up to 90% chance will get filled. Nvidia breaking to the downside. This is the end of the Nvidia. 3.8% to the downside. Not really. Just 3.8% to the downside on Nvidia after this bull run. Since middle of April, Nvidia gained 52% to the upside. So 3.8%. Just another Tuesday on Nvidia, or better say, just another Thursday on Nvidia. Now, 1070 is the support, below it 1000. Always look intraday, zoom in. This is what happened to Nvidia. We got ourselves Tuesday, gap up, sideways move, and Thursday, last hour of the day, went back down, retesting the 1105 as support. Below it, this gap will get filled. When can we get this gap filled? Retesting the upper border of the yellow zone, the 1066 as support. Maybe Friday, by the end of this week, another 3.5% to the downside. Don't be surprised if it will happen during Friday's trading day. Meta 1.5% to the downside. The most important thing that we need to look at the price section of Meta is this. We have all this area with this open gap as a very tough resistance. Sorry for my voice, it's not coming back. So what do we have here? A very tough resistance. Double multi-top scenario on Meta, breaking below the 458. And in my opinion, Meta is heading back to the 440 and the 414 to the downside, back all the way, 11% to the downside. Overall bearish on Meta on all time frames. A pullback is imminent on all across the board. Look at Google, 2.15% to the downside. Google broke down below this blue option channel. We talked about this blue option channel in the past few weeks, and we said as long as Google is inside this blue trend channel, Google goes up. Look at this. We broke the downside. One candle does not change the overall sentiment. Patience, no FOMO, no fear. Trade what you see. 170 is the support. Below it, we will go retest the 163, and then this gap at the 156.80 will get filled. One candle does not change the overall sentiment. Google is still weekly uptrend. The only thing we need now, if we are long on Google, we need to tighten up our stop losses, maybe take some profits home, and make sure we don't lose everything we gained on this option channel. Next, we have AI post earnings, 19.4% to the upside, broke above the yellow zone now with all eyes on AI, C3 AI, the 2070 needs to hold the support, and then next leg up towards the 31, above 31, and you will see all these red, future red resistance on AI. AI, we are now inside this option channel. You have this green channel, green line that helps to identify the higher highs. 3080 will be the next major resistance on AI. Very interesting to see where AI will close the week. Rivian with 7.3% to the upside. Very interesting price action. Let's take Fibonacci to the upside. So we will get more future resistance on price action, staying above the 1082 area, above the upper border of the yellow zone. And we can take long position on Rivian going into Monday, going into next week, 1150, and then 1240. Above 1240, in my opinion, we will get a nice bull run towards this gap at the 1515. AMD with 1% to the upside, but overall AMD moving sideways, holding above the 164 area as support, breaking below, 90% chance that the 153 gap will get filled. For now, mixed signals on AMD. I would wait with this price action scenario, with this price action environment all across the board. I will wait with AMD for next Monday. Amazon continues to grind down another day, 1.5% to the downside. We have been talking about this downtrend sentiment on Amazon in the past few weeks. Every day that goes by, every candle that goes by, lower lows, lower highs, We are inside a very clear downtrend channel. It doesn't matter, it's short, but it's still a downtrend channel inside the yellow zone, holding above the 50% retracement, the 179, next 175, and then this gap 174. Let me know in the comments below, when can we close this gap at the 174 on Amazon? Maybe Friday, maybe next Monday. Tesla 1.5% to the upside. Once again, trend lines and Fibonacci. This is all you need to really understand with the highest probability where price might be heading next. Look at Tesla. You know this red line, we drew this red line few weeks back. Every time Tesla reaches this trend line, it's getting rejected. Also, Thursday's high of the day went all the way to the red line, got rejected. Now, holding above this 176 area, very important area of support. Look left. Support, support, support. Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to really understand in-depth candlestick analysis, this universal language of price action, together with Fibonacci and trend lines. Check the links in the description below. Choose your path with FIBONACCI-Traders.com. Check, maybe you want the one-on-one live mentorship program with me, with lifetime access for support and guidance and all Discord channels. Maybe you want the same thing, but pre-recorded. Also, lifetime access for guidance, support from me, all Discord channels. Choose your path to financial freedom. Join me and we will walk hand in hand. I will guide you. I will support you. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you until you will become a professional trader, until you will really know how to make money from trading. Check the links in the description below. Choose your path to financial freedom with me. Once you do it, I will be 200% committed to your success. Shopify holding strong above the 56 area. Let's see if Shopify can close the week above this area, and then next week above the 60 area, we will reconsider going long all the way, closing the gap at the 75, breaking below the 56, and we will go short all the way, closing the 59 gap. And when I say we, I mean the Fibonacci Traders Discord members. Join today to the elite traders of Fibonacci Traders Discord. We have trading floor in English for day traders, for swing traders, for crypto traders, for future traders, short, long, whatever you want. Options room, of course. Whatever you want under one roof. Netflix continues to move sideways above the 636 and below the 664. Let's see where Netflix is closing the week, and next week we will reassess whether to go long on Netflix or just stay on the sidelines. SMCI breaking below the yellow zone, continues to the downside. Now the 795 area is the support. SMCI broke below this green short trend line, below the 790. We are heading back to the 671 area, 673 area. No long for now on SMCI. We are still below this green downtrend line. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, educational. If yes, hit the like, subscribe. Don't forget to check the links in the description below. Choose your path for financial freedom. Until the next video, stay safe.